Hi guys, last Christmas look up, I used Drugstore products and I did a jewel toned eye. I've already done my foundation and eyebrows and we're just going to jump straight into it. So I'm going to prime my eyes. This is Essence Primer. It's pretty good. It seemed to stop the creasing as much as I could tell. I'm just going to buff that in with a concealer brush, and for my transition colour I'm using MAC's MSF in Dark, which is my skin shade. I'm just going to pop some sellotape on because we're going to do like a smoked out liner using a pencil. So I'm trying out these Essence quads and I'm going to take that dark brown shade and I'm going to use that in my crease. I'm just using a fluffy blending brush just to buff that in. I'm just going to bring that along the tape to start the wing. Going in with the other quad, I'm using this kind of jewel toned ruby purple shade. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's a pretty gorgeous shade. It went on quite smoothly. I did wet my brush just to ensure that it would be as pigmented as possible. I think it would have been more pigmented if I put like a white base under, like NYX's Natural, but it turned out pretty well, so I was quite happy. Just popping that all over my lid, and then I'm just going to go in with that dark brown again into my crease just to blend those two together. Using a creamy black pencil. This is from NYX, but Rimmel will do a pretty similar one. It's just creamier than a normal small pencil. I'm just going to run that along my upper lash line and along the tape, as this is going to be the base for that smoky wing. I'm also going to pop that into my crease so that I get a little bit of a cut crease just in the corner. Just going to take a really soft brush and blend that out. I want it quite smoky along the lash line as well as in the wing, so that's what I'm just doing here. Blend it in the crease as well. This is really what's going to give the eye the shape, so make sure you blend this really well. Along the tape as well, just make sure that there isn't too much of a harsh line. I'm just going to go in with a clean blending brush and blend the crease most and along the lash line a little bit. Going to go back in with my transition shade, my MSF, to make sure everything's blended together. I'm just going to set this with a black eyeshadow. You can use any generic black eyeshadow, and off comes the tape. Going to pop some mascara just to coat on my lashes because I'm going to use falsies, but feel free not to. I think the look isn't so dramatic and heavy that you require lashes, so it's up to you. Pop my lashes on, so we're going to move on to concealer. I know this concealer is pretty light, but I am going to correct that with my powder. I love the consistency of this concealer. It's thicker than the Maybelline Fit Me, so I wanted to try it out. Like I said, it's light, but thank God for powder. This is actually a primer, but I love using this pretty much on the lower part of my highlight just to give some vibrancy, just to give a glow. Otherwise I do feel like my highlight can be a bit flat, especially if I'm using quite a matte concealer rather than a dewy one. So I just pretty much blended this into where I highlighted and went in with my foundation brush just to blend any edges so that I haven't got, you know, geometry all over my face. I'm going to contour. I love using a stick foundation to contour. It's a bit thicker, so I feel like it doesn't just move around your whole face when you blend it. This one, although it is an expensive brand, Becca, it was literally £3 online from, I think it was Fragrance Direct, so if it's still there, I advise you to get it. It's a really gorgeous colour. It's not too harsh on my skin tone either. And I did contour my nose a little bit. I find it a bit easier to contour with liquid or cream on my nose than powder, so I went ahead and contoured my nose. To set my concealer, I actually used my face shade in powder simply because the concealer was light, so this helped just tone it down. MSF is a bit dewy, so it gave a dewy effect as well. I'm just popping some dark brown eyeliner as a base for the dark brown eyeshadow. I'm just going to pop the dark brown eyeshadow that we used earlier under my eye, so pretty much in my lower lash line. Using a little bit of the black eyeshadow, pretty much mirroring what we did above, and putting that jewel tone in the center of my lower lash line as well. I'm going to use a combination of champagne and gold shadows from the palette and pop this into my tear duct. Using mascara, I'm just going to put this on my lower lashes, and I'm going to put some black eyeliner in my waterline as well, just tightline that. I'm using Sleek's Luminous powder. It's kind of a dupe for the CoverGirl Ebony bronze. It's slightly less red, which I actually prefer, so I'm really enjoying using this powder as bronzer, and I just pretty much set where I put that cream contour earlier. I use La Flemme blushes in Cinnabar and Brick Red. It is a bit harsh, but I'm going to blend that in. It's similar to Sleek's Flushed and Sahara, and I'm going to highlight with Kiko's 208 eyeshadow, but you can use the gold highlight part of the Sleek contour kit. And then I'm just going to blend it all together with my Duofiber brush. I found that my contour had been a bit hidden with all the blending, so I just went in with whatever concealer was left on my beauty blender and just went under my contour to make it stand out again. Set my eyebrows with a brown mascara so that my eyebrow hair don't go droopy and fall everywhere during the day. The look's pretty much done then, so I'm going to go on to the lips. I used a red toned brown liner, and I just lined the outer part of my lips and went in with this Essence lipstick. It's literally £2, and I didn't even mention the palettes are £2 as well. They're so cheap. They're from Wilkinson's actually. This is like a dusty pink dusty pink, rose brown, gorgeous nude for women of colour. Next choice is Sleek's Matte Me in Fandango Purple. Don't watch the pink fingers. This was a bit hard to work with, I can't deny. And then I went for a vampy lip as well. So that's Sleek's Lip Pencil in Raisin, which is very creamy. And that's the finished look. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I've left some equipment in the stock room.